welcome to Miss Floris's virtual classroom. Today is November 19th, and it is Thursday today, and I'm here to do an interactive read-along with you. We are going to be reading another book by Helen Lester, our author, illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. Princess Penelope's Parrot is another book written by Helen Lester. Now, I want you to look at the book we read yesterday. We read Hooray for Rodney Wet. Today we're reading Princess Penelope's Parrot, and then tomorrow we're going to be reading Listen Buddy. And I want you to look at these books and find what similarities you might see in these three covers, right? In Hooray for Rodney Rat, we see that Rodney, he's right there on the cover. We can see that he's the main character. In Princess Penelope's Parrot, we can see Princess Penelope right there. And in Listen Buddy, it's going to be about a rabbit named Buddy. So in every title, in every cover, we have the main character's name in the title. We have the main character on the cover of the book. Those are some similarities about the different books, covers that Helen Lester and illustrated by Lynn Munsinger have in their books together. Now, this book today is Princess Penelope's Parrot. The parrot is on top of Princess Penelope's birthday cake. It is one of her birthday presents. Some parrots learn to talk. They repeat what they hear their owners say. Let's find out what Princess Penelope Parrot learns to say. And remember, Helen Lester, loves to write hilarious, funny books, so I'm sure this parrot has some funny things to say. Princess Penelope's birthday was always a big occasion, and this year was no exception. Look how many gifts she got. Do you get that many gifts for your birthday? Princess Penelope's dress had ruffles on its ruffles on its ruffles. Her presents were fabulous, rollerblades studded with jewels, a bathing suit woven from rare peacock feathers, a 16-wheeler. There's Princess Penelope in her ruffles on ruffles on ruffles dress. And these are some of her cool, extravagant gifts. The cake was 7 layers high and made with genuine llama's butter. The top of the cake was decorated with a golden cage, and within that golden cage was a beautiful parrot. "Gimme," said Princess Penelope, her mouth stuffed with cake. "Gimme, gimme, gimme." Quickly, her servants stood one on top of the other and plucked the golden cage from the top of the cake and presented it. And there is Princess Penelope the bomb saying, "Gimme, gimme, gimme." And there are her servants getting the golden cage on top. What are you thinking about Princess Penelope right now? How do you feel about Princess Penelope with how she's acting and how she looks? You may have said, "I think Princess Penelope is spoiled. Look at her 7-layer cake. Think of all the awesome, amazing gifts that she gets, and then look at her still yelling, 'Gimme, gimme, gimme.' Did she say please?" No, she doesn't. She is one spoiled princess. "Mine," said the princess. "Mine, mine, mine, mine," dribbling cake crumbs as she zoomed off to her chamber with the cage. Then she waited for the parrot to say something. The parrot said nothing. "Talk, Big Beak," demanded Princess Penelope. The parrot said nothing. "Speak or I'll rattle your cage." The parrot said nothing, and Princess Penelope grew annoyed. "Alrighty then, I'll put you on a ball and chain." The parrot looked miserable, but said nothing. Grating her teeth, the princess hissed, "Look, Bird Brain, I'm ready to pluck your feathers out one by one." Still, the parrot said nothing. Furious, Princess Penelope marched right up to the cage, stared the parrot nose to beak, and yelled, "Why don't you get lost, you knothead?" Is Penelope kind to her parrot? Is she being very nice to him? How would you feel if you were the parrot? I would feel sad. Princess Penelope is yelling and yelling and yelling at her parrot and saying not very nice things. I wonder how Helen Lester decided that the parrot wouldn't talk here. I wonder how our author decided the parrot's not going to talk just yet. Maybe something is going to happen in our story. But the parrot did not get lost. It stood in silence, nibbling forlornly on the precious few birdseeds the princess flicked its way. Princess Penelope glared at the parrot, snarling, "Stupid buzzard!" One day, Princess Penelope received a message that young Prince Percival would be stopping by her palace on his way to build sandcastles at the beach. And there is the princess, looking very disappointed in her parrot. Although they had never met before, Princess Penelope had long ago decided she would marry Prince Percival when she grew up. He was the richest prince in the land, and not just a little rich, but rich, rich, rich. She could just picture herself as Mrs. Prince Percival. She would have diamonds sparkling from every toe and finger, and a crown so heavy it would fold her ears. And there's Princess Penelope daydreaming about being Mrs. Princess Percival. The most precious silks would cloak her right up to her royal nose, and maybe her royal nose would have a golden nose ring, and she would make hundreds of lists for her servants. Then she'd settle back down on her velvety pillows to eat caviar cones and watch a 20-foot TV all day long. And there are Princess Penelope's daydreams about what it's going to be like when she's rich, rich, rich with Prince Percival. But enough dreaming. Now she must get ready to make a fine impression on the prince. She chose her poofiest dress, arranged a new hairstyle, and struggled into her highest heels. And as she clippity-clopped about tidying her room, leaving out only her most expensive toys, she came across the parrot. Stupid buzzard, she thought. Would the prince be impressed with this useless bird? Absolutely not. Never. There she is getting ready. She is very excited to meet this prince. And there she's putting up her toys, deciding that this is a useless parrot. So she hid the parrot behind the curtains. There, everything was perfect. Princess Penelope put on her sweetest smile, sat upon her throne, and waited to dazzle the prince. Clump, clump, clump. Princess Penelope put her hand to her ear. That must be the prince. Clump, clump, clump. She could just imagine him galloping on his fine white horse. And there's Princess Penelope. Can you spy where our parrot friend is? He's hidden behind the curtain, just right there. You can see his little feet and his ball and chain. And there's Princess Penelope waiting for her prince. What do you think? What prediction do you think is going to happen when the prince arrives? Especially since our parrot friend is behind the curtain next to Princess Penelope. What predictions do you have? I think that maybe the parrot's going to say something funny about the prince. Go ahead and keep that prediction in your brain and let's see if you're right. Clump, clump, clump. Prince Percival galloped into Princess Penelope's chamber. No horse, but impressive feet and nice shoes. Whoosh! Prince Percival bowed deeply and held out a huge bouquet of roses. "Gimme!" said the parrot from behind the curtain. "Gimme, gimme, gimme!" Prince Percival gulped and handed over the roses. And look at our sneaky parrot friend right there. He's saying, "Gimme, gimme, gimme," just like how Princess Penelope said, "Gimme, gimme, gimme," for the cake. What's funny about this picture? Go ahead and take a good look at our little parrot friend. That looks hilarious. He's making me laugh. "Mine!" squawked the parrot. "Mine, mine, mine!" Prince Percival's eyebrows twitched. How could someone with such a sweet smile say such rude things? "Talk, Big Beak!" The prince scratched his nose and thought maybe, just maybe, he wanted to be somewhere else. Who does the prince think is talking? All right, so take a look at the picture. Think about the words in the story. Who does he think is talking? He thought it was Penelope talking instead of the parrot. And is the parrot saying some funny things like our prediction? He sure is. Prince Percival thinks that it is Penelope talking to him when it's really the parrot. Then the parrot screamed, "Speak or I'll rattle your cage!" Cage? Cage? Prince Percival felt trapped. As he moved towards the door, the parrot screeched, "Alrighty then, I'll put you on a ball and chain. Look, bird brain, I'm about to ready to pluck your feathers out one by one." That did it. Prince Percival bolted out the door and galloped up. Clump, clump, clump. He is running away. He is so scared. Princess Penelope followed. Clippity-clop, 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 and the parrot flapped after them both, ball and chain and all, up and down the staircases, past the birthday present room, through the kitchen. They clumped and clippity-clopped and flapped, and as Prince Percival finally galloped out the palace door into the safety of the green field, the parrot called out, "Why don't you just get lost, you knothead?" And Prince Percival was delighted to do so, and didn't stop once until he made it all the way to the beach. And there they are chasing each other. In the palace doorway, the parrot cocked his head at Princess Penelope and cheerfully said, "Stupid buzzard!" and then stepped out of the ball and chain and flew away. The prince and the parrot lived happily ever after. That was, there's one more page. Princess Penelope was horribly embarrassed, but she got over it, and in no time she went right to work in front of her mirror, practicing her sweetest smile, just in case the second richest prince of the land should come her way. That was hilarious. I love that ending, how the prince and the parrot happened to be friends and lived happily ever after. That was a hilarious story. All right, I will see you tomorrow, students. Have a great Thursday.